Hello, everybody. We
How
are
are you?
started. Oh my gosh. Hi, everybody. I know we're a couple minutes behind, so thank you for bearing with us as we got started this evening. Feel free to use our chat function for those of you guys who have joined us for a GlossGenius webinar in the past. You know that that's there for you, so feel free to drop your comments and questions throughout the event. But really quickly, I just want to quickly introduce myself. My name is Nicole Gifford. I'm part of the team here at GlossGenius, and I am so excited and glad that you guys carved out an hour for this event. We're going to be getting into how one owner, and we're going to introduce him formally in 1 second, built a $50,000 a month business while working just 3 days a week. So not a fluke, not like a one-time viral thing, but an actual repeatable system and how that's worked for him. Tonight, he's going to walk us through the whole thing. So with that, I am going to move to our next slide here. So I know most of you guys in the audience probably already know Wayne, but this is Wayne Tuggle. Wayne Tuggle has been behind the chair for he has built a client base that's about 90% regulars, and he now runs his entire business just 3 days a week while bringing in 50K a month doing it. And we are so excited to have him here this evening. So Wayne, feel free to say your hellos.
Hello to everybody. Thank you guys for taking your time to come and listen to this. I'm so excited to share this with GlossGenius and be doing this with GlossGenius, because I tell you what, that's made the biggest difference in my business. But I'm so pumped and thankful you guys took your time out just to listen, and I'll do everything I can to help you with whatever you can. My door is always open. If you DM me, whatever you do, I'm here to help anybody, because my whole goal in this whole industry is I want everybody to be busy, to make money, and live the best life, because we are, as hairdressers, in the best industry in the world.
Couldn't agree more, Wayne. That's awesome. And another just quick housekeeping note before we dive into some education. So you guys likely know this already if you've joined us for a GlossGenius webinar, but the session is being recorded. So if you do have to duck out early, life happening, we will be sharing the replay. So if you want to, dive deep on this later, you're also welcome to do that. So again, I already mentioned this. Some of you guys are already saying hi in the chat. We want this to feel like a conversation. So questions that you guys have, you are welcome to leave them for us, and feel free to engage with each other in the chat as well. So amazing. With that, one other quick question for you guys to start chatting in the chat, if you haven't already. We love to hear who is with us at these events. So drop your name, where you're joining from, and what kind of business you run in the chat. Start introducing yourselves. Okay, we've got a lot of hellos, which is exciting. Let's see. Amazing. Okay, Erica, looks like Wayne, you joined her for a class.
Lubbock, Texas. I love Lubbock, Texas. Send me a DM and we will get your salon back on the books and get it done.
Love it. Pittsburgh, Virginia, Chicago, amazing. Louisiana, Detroit. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much.
Jacksonville, I love it.
Love Jacksonville.
I'm reading as fast as I can. I can't read that fast. I mean, it's flying. I love it. Thank you guys for this so much. It's so humble and just honoring.
Yes, we love it. Amazing, guys. We'll keep them coming. Let us know where you're calling in from. Got a lot of California in the house, so welcome, guys. On the earlier side.
I was just in California. Love California. It's hard for me to get back and go back to work, but I love California.
It's the best. Amazing, guys. Well, keep it coming, and feel free again to chat with each other, get to know each other, and drop your questions. But with that, let's rewind. And again, I know a lot of you guys know Wayne a little bit from all of his work. But I think it's important for everyone here to know, Wayne, that you weren't always running this like streamlined 3-day week operation. And so before to this point, what did your day-to-day actually look like?
I mean, it's really wild. And I say this, and I'm not saying it because I'm on a GlossGenius webinar. I'm honestly, GlossGenius did change my entire system, because I'm 54 years old. So I am an old school hairdresser. I was busy. I was working Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Had a few assistants, more than I needed, to be honest with you, because my business wasn't streamlined. It was kind of all over the place, but I was trying to get people in and out and do everything I could to give the best service, and writing appointments down. So, I mean, I used a book, literally writing down in a book until, God, I couldn't tell you how long ago. I don't know how long I've been with GlossGenius, but it's been a lot, probably when they first came out. Yeah. And when I want to say, y'all were only in the suite system, right? It was one of the suites.
Mhm.
I don't know what suite it was, but I got hooked up through one of the owners in the suite and started using it. It was one of the best things that changed my business. And I would literally have my assistants call my clients the day before, 20, 20 some clients every day, and say, you have an appointment with Wayne tomorrow. We're looking forward to seeing you, blah, blah, blah. Because I was very big on the personal touch, because that was starting to get lost because of the internet, because of this and this. You were losing that personal touch. You were losing this. And I always never really wanted to switch over. I
Yeah.
thought writing down was the best thing that a human being could do. And I thought it was about customer service. And it is about customer service 100%. And I felt like it lost. But of course, if you don't change, you stay stagnant. So
Right.
then GlossGenius came along and I started using that. And it really went from a 5-day week. And I wasn't traveling too much because I was building a company with my mentor, Michael O'Rourke, called Rock Your Hair. And we were only doing hair shows and very small venues, in salon classes, whatnot. And I had more time in the salon.
Yeah.
So I hooked up with the company I'm with now currently and started traveling all the time. So I
Mhm.
wanted to figure how I could take my business from a 5 hard, solid, long work week and
Yep.
build it into 3, because I had a gig on a plane, rushing out, Monday, Tuesday, traveling 45 weekends a year. How do I get back to salon and give the customers the service? So I
Right.
cut it down. I cut Tuesday out first. And then I went from Tuesday, then I went Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and started really just streamlining my business in, and using the GlossGenius system changed that, because I could see how I could do this and this and this, and
Yep.
started really working with 2 good, solid assistants that changed my entire career. And all of that together enabled me to really do what I do. And I knew I was making money. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I was making money hand over fist. I did the whatever. And it's not about the money. It's not about that. But then recently, only what, Nicole, what would you say? A few months ago, when the growth analysts come out,
Yep. Yep. Hmm.
I figured I looked at the thing and I'm like, shit, I'm making $50,000 a month behind the chair. I had no clue. I had literally had no clue, because I'm a cash business,
Right.
and the credit cards. I had absolutely no clue. And when it hit me, I was like, holy cow, how can I do more? How
Yeah.
can I take this, what I've done, almost stumbled upon with,
Yep.
using streamlining things and doing this. How can I take this and share this with other hairdressers to
Right.
enable them to make that kind of money? And I'm gonna be honest, nobody wants to do 30 people a day. It's miserable. But
Yeah.
I have the best time because I love it. I've got it down to a science. But it's the
Mhm.
fact of, if you even add 2 or 3 more people a day, that's what changes everything.
100%. Amazing. And I think that encapsulates so much of what we're going to dive deep on individually,
Oh,
guys. So, like, more to come on each one of those concepts. But I'll say, too, just to kind of kick things off, like Wayne's talking about coming from pen and paper, I will say, if you're using a platform, even a tech platform, that's basically just a digital version of that same list that doesn't give you the insights and the
stop.
talkability and everything that Wayne's describing, you might still have some serious gaps to dive into. So we're going to chat a whole bunch about that, but just big.
And to touch on that, and it really is, and me and Nicole, we've become friends over the past few months, and
Yeah.
just talking to her about different things here and there, and the things that they're coming up with and coming out with, that's going to be able to streamline your business even more, is unbelievable. And I say this, and I've said this 1,000 times. I worked for a company that built and literally let's say tried to copy GlossGenius as a booking system immediately, and they copied it. I mean, literally, thing for thing.
Yeah.
I'd never used it because it couldn't touch the way that these guys did business. And I swear I'm not saying it because I'm on this. If
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
talk to me out in public, I would tell you the same thing. It changed my business, and it's just, they're so much on the cutting edge that you have these other apps, you have these other things that you do this, and everything from the top to the bottom changed how business is done. And I honestly, yes, I give all my credit to my assistants, myself, but I give a lot of credit to the
Right.
booking system that I use, and the system that I use is a whole game changer.
Thanks, man. That's so exciting to hear you say that. And I think again, a lot more where that came from. I'm going to take a quick step back because we're going to dive into a lot of really great info from Wayne, but I'm curious, just as like a pulse check to the audience. How many days a week are you currently working? And by the way, there's no wrong answers here, to Wayne's point. Everybody's like tolerance for clients per day is a little bit different. Everybody's business is a little bit different, but I wonder if anybody can share how many days a week they're maybe behind the chair or just in the salon working with their team.
And
Wow.
see, I love seeing these 4, 5, 6 days a week, because that means you're a great hairdresser. You're
busy.
working hard. You're doing, because this is the honest to God truth. I am at a point in my career now that I'm even burnout. I love it, G. I think it was a girl named Gina said it. That's believe me, babe. Come to a class. I'll get you out of that burnout situation. It's a whole different game. My thing is, I'm honestly still debating right now and teeter-tottering whether to come off the road and go back in behind the chair an extra day and readjusting what I do as far as going to salons and teaching classes and doing this, because I'm gone 45 weekends. I miss being home. I love the salon. There's nothing I love more than anything than being a hairdresser. I love teaching. I love teaching people more than anything, but being behind the chair, I love. And I'm honestly thinking about adding another day, not for the money. Yes, the money is good, whatever, but I'm doing it simply because of the love that I have for this. And the fact that you guys really are killing this. I love that you guys are working, putting your hours in, and you're here to learn how to make more money in that a time that you're working.
Yep, absolutely. It's all about
again, Samantha, you said 5 days, but short days because of kids' school schedules. Look, that's how it always works. But if we can add an extra $100 or $200 to your small days, it'll change your life. And it's so easy that we have to do.
Yep. I love that, Wayne. No, that's such a good point. Amazing, guys. Well, let's start to kind of get into the math or the sort of overall structure behind this 3-day week. So, all that sounds great, $50,000 a month, working 3 days. But Wayne, I'm curious, did you have to raise your prices dramatically to make that work? I feel like that's where people's brains will always jump to when they think about this.
That is a absolute trick question to me, because my thing was always, I grew up in the industry, and my grandmother was a hairdresser for until she was 93. Wow. And her thing was, number one, always take care of your customers and don't overcharge them. So my thoughts were going into, and this was literally up until, I'm going to say, the internet hit, honestly, till the internet hit for me. That was, a luck thing. I did a set of bangs on the internet. Now I'm the guy that does bangs on TikTok. What the hell? I mean, it really is. I mean, I've done everything in the world. I built a company called Sexy Hair. I won a world challenge, did this and this, but I'm known as the guy that does bangs on TikTok, and it changed my career. But it was a wild thing because I never wanted to go up on prices, because I always thought if I can add one more person, I don't have to go up on prices and I can keep these people. And I think that's a lot of hairdressers think this way, because we are bound to the chair. We're bound to loyalty. We're bound to this. But I found out when I raised prices that the ones you bend over backwards for and you do everything for, they come in late. You're like, it's okay. You do this and this. The first time you raise them $10, they're the first ones to stab you in the back. Mm-hmm. The ones that absolutely will pay anything are the ones that love you. And I think that's the biggest thing. It's the craziest thing. I never wanted to go up on prices, but I did. And I didn't just go up. I didn't just go up a little bit. I went up probably, I'm going to honestly say 50%.
Wow.
I jumped from, let's say, $100 haircut to a $200 haircut. And I did it like that. Yeah. And then my thoughts were, if I lose people, I'm getting new people, I'm doing this, but that's a different situation. And I'm not ever telling anybody to jump 50%, because that really is a lot, but it was becoming where I couldn't breathe. I felt like the weight of the world was on me. I'm doing this and doing it. It's really a hard thing to do. But I do tell people it's your value and what you give to people. And my thought was, I used to think if I hired another assistant, well, let's just use numbers for an example, for $10 an hour. Mm-hmm. I could add, for every one assistant I added, I could add 2 more people. So if I'm paying them $10 an hour and making $100, then I've made 80. It wasn't true, because everything became crowded and became this and became this. And it just went over. And that was the whole thing. And yes, and like Maja, you have to believe you're worth the prices. You are worth the prices. And
Yeah.
there's people in my town still today that charge way more than me. And it's one of those things that I could never get behind the fact that I charge for an hour, I charge for this, but everything in this is personal.
Yeah.
And how you feel and how you feel at the end of the day and how you feel checking a client out. And if you feel great about it, my hats are off to you. If people can charge $200 an hour, congratulations. And you're getting it. I think it's the most brilliant thing in the world. But on the other hand, if you can't charge but $40 a haircut and that's what you feel comfortable with and you're living, congratulations. I'm not here to tell anybody that you're doing wrong, you're doing this and doing this. We all together as hairdressers need to be a community and really grow together and help each other out and not bash people and say, well, you're doing wrong, you're doing wrong. Who's to say anybody's doing wrong? If people love you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. My question is, are you busy and are you happy? And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. And yes, I'm busy and I'm very happy. Am I overwhelmed? Absolutely. But I love it. I wake up every day and can't wait to go to work and do my clients. Even some of those clients that you're like, God, I just wish she wouldn't come back. But then you come in, you're like, you know what? She was pretty cool today. I kind of like her. But you're like, oh, so, Betty's coming in. What the hell are we going to do with her? It's one of those things. And I just think that's what you just have to figure out. At the end of the day, as a hairdresser, if we're happy, who's to say you're wrong? Nobody.
Right. Completely. No, that makes so much sense. And I want to tap into, the method that you've really used, at least one of the main methods you've really used to unlock this extra revenue, which is strategic hiring. And I know we have a question
100%
dropped about having an assistant, what that means, or maybe for some people, it's just that next hire that's going to open up a little bit more leverage for them in the salon. So tell me a little bit about like the strategy that you use, kind of taking those lower leverage services off your plate and how you've thought about that.
To be honest, it took me a long time. It took me a long time. I'm very thankful to say I've had one of my assistants literally for 18 years, and that's unheard of. Hairdresser, she got into hair, she's got her license, wanted to do hair, this and this. She got into it and realized that she loved the people more than she did the pressure of hair.
Yeah.
If somebody doesn't like something, they don't complain to her, they talk to me. But that was one that, luckily, and I'm thankful. Her name's Courtney. I'm thankful for her. And I just found another one that I got. But my thing is with an assistant is you have to let go. That's the hardest thing. I talk to hairdressers every weekend, and you have to let go. Because here's the thing, the client loves you for what you do as far as a cut and a color. The style, people love the style. They love to feel good when they leave the salon. But my question to everybody on this chat and every hairdresser that I speak to, the style that you do on them, can they do at home? The answer is no. Under no circumstances can another person do what you do as a hairdresser. Why? Because we are so amazing. Now, you can sell them every product that we have in the salon. You can sell them, they can have the best blow dryer in the world, the best flat iron, and all the curlers we have. But can they do what you do? Absolutely no. They just can't. So I started thinking how you're doing a disservice, in my opinion, when I would stop, you would spend an extra 20 minutes styling their hair and curling and this and this. And then they'd go out in the car and they do this, or they do this and this. And I'm like, I'm sitting here sweating myself to death, working on so-and-so. And she goes right in the car, or they put a hat on it. They do this. The style at the end of the day, and I've started really getting big into this, and that's what I'm doing my classes. This is what I love talking to people about, is you cut hair in, we don't style hair in anymore. The problem with today is everybody styles hair in. And this is an example. Face framing. We face frame, right? We face frame. Everybody wants this. But when you have this, what's the first thing they do? Curl it back. Now, does that make sense? No, it's counterintuitive. You're cutting something forward to them to style back. It makes no sense. So at that point, I said, okay, I'm going to have my assistant style it. I'll go up afterwards. I touch it. I play with it. I do this and this. And they're fine. Because at the end of the day, the less you do styling wise, the more time you have to give them the best cut for them that they can take home and fix themselves. Because we've all done this too. We've cut somebody's hair great, and you see them a couple of days later. You're like, what the hell happened to her hair? You're like, she couldn't style it. She couldn't style it like you could. That's
Right.
the difference. They could look good one day out of 6 weeks. One day out of 6 weeks. That's because you guys as hairdressers are better than everybody else in the world. So if you hand that off to somebody and you let them style it and you let that go, that's the hardest thing. It's just let it go. And if
Right.
you let that go, you can concentrate more on the cuts and the colors and really what matters. That's the key.
Love that.
And again, it's my opinion, but
Yeah.
I've just found that's what's worked for me. And as far as assistant hiring process, is I speak to them and I want them to be me. Does that make sense? They're never going to be me, but I want them to, if they speak to my client, it's going to be like I speak to my client.
Right.
You have to have that personality. And I'm not a boss. If I walk out of the room, I know that my two assistants are teaching are talking to them with respect, number one, and talking to them about stuff that matters. They're not sitting there talking about da 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 da. They're talking about hair and they're doing this. Like I have tons of my clients that have had no idea for years that I even had kids because I talk about hair. And of course that's just me, but my assistants talk about everything else. And
Right.
that's the biggest thing. And again, like how do you teach them to be you? You don't teach them to be you. What you're teaching them is to be respectful and run your business like it's their own.
Right.
Like if I had something happen, surgery, whatever, for a few weeks, I could hand my whole entire business over to my assistants. They're not going to do hair like me, but I know they're going to take care of them like it's their salon. And I think that's what you have to think about. You have to be, that's the biggest key is you have to have them respect you and love you just as if their space is your space. Can't treat them like an assistant. You can't treat them like they're less than, because let me tell you something, they're nobody's less than. You're not. I mean, I've had clients that just because they're assistants, they snap their fingers and want my assistant to put a chair under their feet. Give me a break. They're still a human being.
Of course.
Treat them like you would speak to me, because they are an extension of you. When I say teach them to be you, teach them to be an extension of you.
Right.
And I think that's the biggest thing. And you can get them from beauty schools. And the thing is, of course, and if they come in and the first thing they ask about is money, guess what? Don't hire them, because that's all they care about. And if you care about the money, you're never going to make the money. If you care about learning and growing, and that I'm the best hairdresser that can teach you what you need to be, and I'm going to make you better, that's who you hire. That's the key. That's the number one key is growing. And I can't say that enough.
Love that. I think there's this piece of, obviously when you're instilling your values in the folks that you hire, there's this piece of like, you've built all these really amazing relationships. And it's like, how do you scale those relationships, right? You can't be physically dealing with time, right? And
you can't.
Yeah, no. And this helps you actually scale, also your revenue hours, because you're not
100%.
Right.
And it takes the weight off of you. Like, let me
Right.
tell you something. The last thing I tell people all the time, I'm quick, don't get me wrong, but my assistants talk to my clients about my clients.
Yeah.
I talk to my clients about hair. See the difference? My assistants don't do their hair. They're there to shampoo them. They blow dry them. They speak to them about everything, and they talk about their lives and their lives. When I sit down with somebody, the first thing I say to them is, all right, this is what we're going to do. Of course I say that. All right, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to take your hair. I'm going to give you the best haircut you've ever had. Is it the best haircut you've ever had? Yeah, probably so. But it's not that I'm better than anybody else. It's you tell them this, how you speak to people. Number one. And because here's the thing, they're sitting in your chair because they trust everybody on this chat. They trust everybody here, and they trust us as the hairdresser. You know more than they do. If they act like they know more than you, they don't need to be your client, because it's a nightmare. They're just going to make you miserable every time you come in. So I tell them about, I'm going to cut your hair in. I don't style hair in. And I promise you, people, everybody on this chat, if you tell people from now on, I'm going to cut your hair in, I'm not going to style your hair in, you're going to get the best haircut from me you've ever had, because I just readjusted how I did things. And I have my assistant who we're going to blow dry your hair together, especially if you're new assistants. You show them this, and the next time you hand it off. And I think that's what the biggest thing. Yes, I do color and highlights too. I do everything. I do everything except the perm, but I do color, highlights, completely everything. I do, I'm a full service salon. I do 35 cuts, colors a day behind the
Mhm.
chair.
And that's not possible without passing
No, it's
off.
not possible without an assistant. It's not possible. Otherwise, you're miserable. Even at
Yeah.
35 people, even at 30 people, you become snowblind. When you think your first 9 o'clock client or 8 o'clock client was yesterday, you got a problem. So I got a problem. But that's just what that's just how, like, I've looked at GlossGenius before and I've said, oh my God,
Right.
Courtney, Vicky was today. I thought she was yesterday. It was just that kind of thing. And I think the thing is the handing off to them, and the way it's 100% of how we speak to people. It's
Yeah.
100% never talk down to a human being. They're there for you. And they're there and they trust you and they believe in you and they do all of these things. And I think if you really tell them, you sit down with them, like every client that sits down in the chair, I have a stool, I pull behind and I sit behind them. And I look at them in the mirror. I don't let them look at me in the face, because here's the thing, the mirror, so it shows shadows. So if
Yeah.
you look at them in the mirror, it becomes more of a professional environment.
Yeah.
And you look at them over the shoulder and say, you've touched their hair, I'm going to do this. This is where this is coming around your face. I know you want face frames, but I don't do face framing simply because you're going to curl it back, and face framings drag the face down. I want to cut your hair back. And if you cut hair back, hair always lays back. So that right there, my key is I'm going to cut your hair in. I'm not going to style your hair in. My assistant's going to give you the best blow dry and the best thing that you can do at home. I
Yeah.
don't use a ton of products. I tell people I don't use a ton of products. I don't do this simply because I want you to be able to style your hair when I'm not there. And I think that's the biggest thing. And that handoff, you have got to let those shampoos go, girl. Everybody, you've got to let those shampoos go. You've got to let those. And people say, I love blow drying. Well, if you love blow drying, congratulations. Continue to blow dry. Yeah, I mean, that's great. I hate blow drying. I'm a great blow dryer, but I hate blow drying. And I think the thing is, first, take it easy. You're not going to go to work on Tuesday and you're going to say, okay, I have assistant. She's going to do everything. It ain't going to happen,
Right.
because it's as human beings, we can't let anything go. We harbor everything. First, let the shampoo go. Well, they love my shampoos. Well, yeah, they do love your shampoos, but honey, you can teach somebody else to shampoo just as well. It's a shampoo. They're
Right.
happy. And if you're a client and if you have an assistant that follows you as far as speaking to them, I have 90% of my clients would rather talk to my assistants about things than talk to me, because I am very strictly hair, and
Right.
I have the best personality behind the chair. I have the best time, and I make sure they have the best experience. But at the end of the day, the shampoos and blow dries are things that they do at home. They can never cut and color because you're the best. That's the thing I tell people. You as a hairdresser are the best people on earth. They can never do what you do. It'll never, nothing, AI, nothing will ever take our jobs. Robots, whatever you want to say, they'll never take our jobs. Why? Because we have these, and these. No matter how much you try, they'll never do it.
Yeah, that is such a good point. And I think like we'll get into a little bit more of the back end, but Wayne, I think just hopefully food for thought for people in the audience that are thinking about scaling their time. And I want to talk a little bit about something that GlossGenius is built to support directly. So Wayne, you've talked to me a little bit about this in the past, but whether you are starting to bring people on as a new booth renter who's just sort of, bringing somebody in that capacity, if you're bringing in a new commissioned stylist, a full assistant, etc., you can add them straight into your booking system with a great deal of ease thanks to GlossGenius. So it's not something you're already considering, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the system. This is a great way to kind of get your entire team on the same page. And Wayne, I wonder if you have any thoughts on that and how GlossGenius has kind of helped you scale your team over time.
It's 100% helped me scale my time more than anything in the world. It's changed everything simply because when everybody and all of my assistants have everything, the books on there, the way they book them, they do this, so everybody knows what everything's going on. And that's the key. You can move this around. You can do this. It's changed complete completely the way I do business, without a question. I can't stress that enough, because everybody's on the same page.
Yep.
And I think without being on the same page, you're reading a different book. And I think that's, at the end of the day, that's it.
I love that. Yeah, and I think there's this issue that some of you guys might have in the audience if you're not using a system like GlossGenius that's integrated and kind of has everything you need in one spot. Juggling separate systems becomes even more complicated as you continue
Yes.
business, whether it's to 2 people, to 10 people, to 15. The more disjointed your systems are behind the scenes, those cracks are going to show, and you're going to lose time on that.
It's like anything else. If you're in a boat and you're rowing, and not everybody's rowing at the same pace, what happens? You go in circles.
Right.
It's the same thing. If one person's using this app, and if everything's not together,
yeah,
that way you can, it's one easy book. You look at it, and the way they have set it up, the way Gloss has set everything up, is to make everything very clean, very smooth, and very easy. Like literally, I've got something coming up that's going on, and I've got my assistants that I have put on the book privately.
Yep.
As far as on the back end of the book, in case I'm gone for a couple months doing something else, none of that matters, then they have my book that they can move right over. And it has made this transition one of the scariest things for me.
Right.
One of the easiest things. It absolutely took more stress off of me, simply because I was able to do this, and this on the back end, and it changed how we did everything. And again, it's uniformity. It's like anything. You have to be in sync, or it's just, you're out of sync. It's just what it is.
Yeah, no, I love that. I think that's such an excellent point. Amazing. Well, I'm going to move to our next topic, which also has a lot to do with why your revenue results are so tremendous, Wayne, which is a clientele that really kind of rebooks itself. So, actually filling your chair is a critical part of being at the point where you can reduce your hours, right? Or kind of condense things to where you can have a 3-day work week or a shorter work week, whatever that means to you. So Wayne, can you talk to us a little bit about your clientele? Like, who are they? Are they mostly repeat?
Okay.
And if so, how have
Absolutely.
you reached that point?
Everybody, and I'm going to say 95% is repeat business.
Right.
And they're new business. 90% of my clientele comes from out of town, but that's a social media thing. Okay. And every time they come in, they rebook, and I can tell you that the system made everything even easier. That you look at, especially the new update, unbelievable. I can't praise these guys enough for it. But it changed. My clients are always repeat. I had to actually start taking people and putting them, instead of doing a 4 to 6 week cycle, I put everybody on a 10-week cycle. Because before, my cycle was, I do your hair, I'll see you in 4 weeks. I do your color, I'll see you in 4 weeks. I do I see you in 4 to 6 weeks, which is a normal work cycle. So then I started saying, you know what? I'm going to cut hair in a little bit different. We're going to do this, not taking any more off. Your hair will last 10 weeks. So then you can add that 10 weeks, and it's able to immediately pop in 10 weeks on the system. It puts them right into 10 weeks. And I have people book all out, because here's the thing. They're booking around flights. They're booking around, school. They're booking around this and this. And I moved that out. And once I expanded my weeks, I was able to add more in. So again, that's another revenue. And I got that idea from Gloss. I got that idea from them, because when I put it in and said, how can I expand this without taking away or getting rid of clients, and said, okay, this client's I've been doing her hair for X amount of years, and I'm still charging her for 5 years ago because I love her, and she's fallen on hard times and this, just to be kind and this and that. So what I've done is taken that, and when I put everything in the growth, it said, okay, if you expand their out X amount of weeks, you add a couple extra weeks, you can add more clients. So that helped me change my business too. That was a big thing. And me and Nicole hasn't even talked about that.
Yeah, we have.
I did that. This is the first time she's hearing it, probably.
It is. No, that's amazing.
That's what I did, because I used the growth analysis, and I said, how can I expand my business without going up again on prices? Because I just went up this time. I don't want to go up again right now. I want to figure out, how can I do this and this? Even if I need to add a service, I'll do this. The main thing was, if they said, if I expand out, instead of doing I see your clients are coming every 4 to 6 weeks, instead of 4 to 6, move them to 8 to 10. So I started doing that, and it changed my entire thing. So now I'm like, you know what? I'll see you in 12 weeks. They're like, oh, well, I used to come 6 or 8. I said, well, look, here's the thing. I gave you the way we did this and the way I did this. This haircut's going to last. If it doesn't, and I tell people this all the time, if you book an appointment ahead of time, it's easier to move an appointment than get a new one.
Yep.
And if you say it that way, it's easier to move an appointment than to get a new one.
I love that. No, it's so great. And guys, if you are a GlossGenius member already in the audience and you haven't tried Growth Analyst yet to go deep on your data to find insights like what Wayne just described,
game change.
Please check it out. It's like a internal ChatGPT for your business and your own business data. So super helpful. And then for those of you guys who are new to it, definitely I would highly recommend if you start a free trial. We'll talk more about that towards the end. It's one of the first things I would recommend playing around with. It's so interesting. But amazing. I think.
And Joe, yes, I did get a little bit of pushback. And if you get pushback, then I say, okay, well, come on in 5 or 6 weeks. Fine with me. I'm not going to, here's the thing. Don't ever argue with a client. If they want to come see you more, 100%, come on back in. I'll just soon take your money as not. I mean, does that make sense? And it's never about the money. It's never about the money. It's about what they want. But you're going to get, let's say you get pushed back on, if you get pushed back on somebody, that you'll get pushed back on 20%, but 80% won't care. So there you go. You're still going to have that click, 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 click. Every Wednesday that I have is old clients, every 4-week clients, but every Thursday, Friday are people scattered. And I think that's what helps a lot. And it says, if you're booked a year out, what if you book a year in advance? I don't quite understand what you mean. Is that just you book a client for a straight year?
Interesting. We'll see what Brett says.
Yeah, I want to see what that is, because I'm really, honestly, that's a pretty good question. I'm very interested in that. Oh, so you book them when you say you book them for a year, when they come in January, you book them all the way through December.
I wonder. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So then you know what? You're killing it. I'm sorry. You're killing it. There's nothing I can tell you. You're killing it. But it's just those. But then you should be the one that adds the extra this and that, like as far as the shampoos or the blow dries, because then you're booking people a year out. Then you can add somebody in here, add a new one in here, add a new one in here. Always keep a little bit of fresh meat in your chair.
Yeah.
Because you're obviously killing it. And that's what makes the biggest difference. And congratulations, honestly.
Yeah, I love that. And I think one thing
that helped and made sense.
I think it did. And I will say too, like with GlossGenius, something that we've felt is really important, because we know sometimes asking people to rebook can feel awkward. Like you're worried about getting rejected. We have a lot of built-in functionality to support that. So when you're at checkout, it prompts you to remind yourself to rebook people, which I think is really helpful too. There's a rebooking reminder at checkout. Plus, we have the ability to automate rebooking reminders via text. So if for some reason you're not able to get to that in person for whatever reason, or if somebody just says no in the moment and is firm on it, you have the system there backing you up. So hopefully
100.
You're less shy, which is important too.
And it is. And it's very easy. I mean, it's very simple. And okay, Gina, keep your books only 2 weeks at a time, or you will lose clients. That's not true. It's the 2 weeks. If the thing is, always rebook people. So with that, you're going to book every time you walk somebody through the front. Now, this is one of the biggest things that I learned. When you walk somebody through the front, the first thing you say was, let's get you on a book for 6 weeks, or let's get you on a book for 8 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever. And if they say, well, you know what, I'll call you, then always speak with the next sentence is, it's easier to get an appointment. I mean, easier to move an appointment than get one. And they say, no, I'm good. I don't know my schedule. Say, no problem. Make sure you give us a call. We'll get you right in. We'll do our best. So I think that is something that I used to think like that. I would only book a handful of people because I wanted new people. And that's not what it is. If you open your book up, always make sure that you stay booked, because we as hairdressers don't have any guaranteed salary every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And if you have the people booked out a month in advance, then you have a guaranteed salary. And when you put books open, I
yeah,
don't understand. I don't know what that means. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I think like one thing that I'll note too, like with GlossGenius, when you have people booked out, you can actually project your revenue for the next weeks, months, and
Oh,
however. So speaking of not knowing your salary, now you have an idea, which I think is so critical.
again, that's blew my mind when me and Nicole were going over that. And when I looked, I was like, what the world? So then I already know what I'm projected to make in July and August and September, just by what's on my book. So from there, if I'm saying, okay, well, I look at, we always talk about January, February is whatever. July is a slow month because everybody's going back to school. And if you look and say, okay, well, I'm a little bit slower in July than I am in June, what can I do? And then you ask growth, what can I do to fill these spots and to make more revenue? And they will tell you to the T, and it's only for your business. It's all customized for you. They're not going to tell you the same thing they tell me, or they're not going to tell, anybody the same thing. They're going to go back and forth with that. And they're going to tell you exactly, because it's your booking, it's your thing, and it's your book that it's looking at and pulling from. We're not pulling, Gloss isn't, it's not we, they're not pulling from a cloud and just giving like random ass answers. They're giving straight up and down, this is what will work for you. Because they told me, if you do this, you'll do this. And even if you add this, we'll do this. If you add this and you add, I forgot what it was. If I added $10 a service on, let's just say a gloss or whatever, on a conditioning treatment or something, it would make me an extra $400 a month.
Yeah.
I mean, it tells me exactly what I needed from that.
I love that. And I think I see a question, which I know is a favorite topic of yours, Wayne. Someone asked how you protect yourself from cancellations when you're booking so far in advance. I think the magic word here is deposits, but I wonder if you have any thoughts to share on how you best do that.
You know what? You can never stop people from canceling.
Of course.
And of course, the deposits is the number one thing.
Yes.
Deposits is the number one thing. And I have on Gloss, on the thing, when they sign in, they do a deposit, that deposits are non-refundable. So if you say, but I also switch my deposit around here and there, because I was like, let's say I was making people do 50% deposit, but then when they come in and pay, you only get 50% of the money. I didn't like that. So I said, I just didn't. It was one of those things. It's like a gift certificate. I hate a gift certificate. I think they're great, but then you're doing something for free. It's a mental thing. It makes it so insane. So I just said, okay, I'm going to do a $30 deposit across the board. So whatever, you lose $30, you lose $30. You gain $30, you gain $30. So if they cancel, and I literally put a cancellation thing, and they always sign it on Gloss.
Yeah.
I did a 72 or a 96-hour window. So if you cancel this and this, but usually if they cancel, they'll call you because they're regular clients. If they're new clients, they're not going to call. But if they're regular clients and they cancel, I always tell them, let's move your appointment and you won't lose your deposit. Simple. So if you tell them that, again, customer service, you won't lose your deposit if we move your appointment. So then nobody minds moving, because here's the thing, I may have to cancel too.
Yeah.
I was in a car accident a few weeks ago. I had to cancel the whole day, and I didn't want them to. I wouldn't treat them any different than I would want them to treat me.
Of course.
So I think that's the thing. And then a lot of times also you're like, well, I charge a 99% no-show fee.
Wow.
I think that's a great idea. But guess what? The people that no-show don't have the 99% in their bank account. So that's the problem. You always are like, well, we're sorry, this doesn't work. I was like, no wonder she didn't show. I mean, but it's one of those things.
That's real.
It's so crazy.
So crazy. But I will say it does help as a deterrent, and also kind of just helps you set those like good boundaries, right, with your clients.
It does. And here's the thing, it's respect.
Yeah.
As a respect for a hairdresser. And I think we should have the most respect completely of anybody in the world. People don't go into the grocery store and haggle over milk. Why are they going to haggle over our prices? And I think, and Maja, if a 48-hour cancellation window is perfect. I think anything you have is whatever works for you. A 24 hours too short, you can't fill it. 48, maybe you can fill it. But I think if you go 3 days before, you can always fill that spot.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good thing. And if you just say, tell people, well, if you have to cancel and you call, then you know what, we can move your deposit. And I think that's the biggest, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah. Love that. And I think I would love to kind of tap into another element of how you've been able to grow loyalty, which is with some really good like personal touches with some of your clients. So Wayne, I wonder if you could give us some of your best tips for like client experience and how that can kind of keep people coming back to.
The main thing is have a good time. We're hairdressers. Literally have a good time. At the end of the day, that's what matters. It's the client experience. And and you know, nothing for nothing, but I've seen and worked and been around hairdressers that they are so serious. And that's what this world has become. Everybody is so serious. We're not dentists. We're hairdressers. People come to us because they love us. They come to us to feel good. And that's the key. And I think the experience from the second they walk in the door to the second they leave has to be the same all the way through. There's no peaks and valleys. If you're having a bad day, guess what? Get over it. Leave it at home. Leave it at the door because they're there for you. And I think the client experience that people get when they come to me is unbelievable. And it's not because, again, I'm the best in this. I don't think so. It's just not what it is. But I make sure everybody has a great time. The way I'm in a suite. So I have a chair here, and a chair here. And I'm running one here, I'm running one here, running here. And I make sure that all the conversations match. Number one, if somebody has something private to talk about, then I readjust it. But for the most part, you want client A talking to client B and client B talking to client C, and you want them all. It's like in my suite, and this made the biggest difference. And the other day, it depends on who's coming in. I changed my music. This is a key. This is key. You've got somebody young, they don't want to hear hip hop, rap, blah, 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 or they want to hear that, then you put on what they like. Like I had, let's just say 3 women that were in there and around my age, they were 50, 45 to 55. So I put on 80s rock or Chicago, and they're all like, oh my God, this is the best music. So the whole entire time, all they did was talk about the music and how good this was and how good this was. There's the experience.
I love that.
I went to the hairdresser. Not only did I get a great haircut, but I had a great time listening to music that I love. It's not about me. Nothing's about me. I teach these classes. I travel around. I do this. The company that I work for, I don't care what happens with them. What I care about is how the people in the salon love me. I'm not there to sell this and sell that. I'm there to teach. I use this company as a vehicle to let me travel and teach and do this and this. Whatever happens on the back end of that stuff, I don't care. It doesn't mean anything to me. I'm there strictly. I'm not there to sell. I'm not there to do anything but teach hairdressers a better way to make more money behind the chair with my technique. It has nothing to do with who I work for, what I work for, the suite that I work for, the company that I work for. What it has to do with how good of a person you are. And if everybody, let's say, minds your business and does that kind of thing, makes the biggest difference. You don't have to sit there and gossip about this and gossip about that. You sit there and you put on whatever kind of music the person in your chair likes. Like I'll have new clients come in and say, what kind of music do you like? Well, I like this and this. I like country. I like a little bit of this. Well, how about this? Pop. You put it on. And it's that easy because especially if you work in a suite, you've got an Alexa or you've got a TV or you've got something like that. You can change that music because, again, it's not about you. I may hate the music. I may hate the music, but guess what? She loves it and it gives her the best experience. And nothing's going to kill you for 30 minutes.
That's so true. I love that.
Again, it's the experience. And again, I tell people all the time, what's the best advice that hairdressers ask me and what's the best advice I can give? Learn how to cape somebody up properly. Learn how to say goodbye. I've been with people 30 some years and I have a client named Debbie. She was my first client ever 34 years ago. Even to this day, the second she walks in, I walk out front and say, how are you? Whether I'm busy or not. I say, bring her back. My assistants cape her up. They cape her up right. Nobody chokes her. They don't do this. They don't haphazardly do this and this. I don't talk about they don't talk about what they did on the weekends because nobody cares. Nobody cares. Even if your client's your friend, it's what it is. I walk her up to the front, give her a hug. Thank you so much, Debbie. I'll see you next time. My girls will take care of you. We'll book you ahead. And I think that's the key. It's not about you. It's about them. And if you learn how to cape them up, say hello, say goodbye, and not make it about you, and don't sit there like I don't know how to say it politically correct, but if you just like like a statue,
Yeah.
what is it? It's uncomfortable.
Right.
It's
Right.
uncomfortable. I hate when somebody used to sit there 20 years ago and they'd open a damn magazine and they'd read a magazine while I'm cutting their hair. Great. That's what you want to do. Congratulations. But I'm
Sure.
going to put hair in that magazine because you know what? You're making my experience bad. I want to give you the
Right.
best haircut I can. But at the end of the day, show some interaction because again, I do this for love. And when I quit loving it, I'm going to walk away. I
Yeah.
travel every weekend. I teach in salons, not because I love the company that I work for, not because of this. I travel because I love walking into a salon and teaching somebody and watching a light bulb go off because I want every hairdresser on this chat, I want every hairdresser in the world to make more money than a doctor or lawyers because we have that choice. And again, if you give that love, I promise you on my life, you will get it back. If you always give what you get, what you give. It's just what it is.
Yeah. No, I think that's a very, very beautiful sentiment. And I hope everybody is loving it. I see some thank yous and amens in the chat. So that means we've hit a nerve.
Because it is, the industry's nasty. The industry, oh, this hairdresser talks about this hairdresser and this and this and this and this. I don't want to get on the internet. And you've got somebody on the internet with a cat profile picture telling me how to cut bangs. Give me a damn break. This is the thing. Anybody in this chat, anybody that speaks ill of you is not doing better than you. I say that all the time because if somebody's doing better than you, they don't have time to talk to you or
Yeah,
talk about you because they're busy. I
that's
don't
true.
ever talk bad about anybody because I love everybody and I respect everybody and I want everybody to grow. I want everybody to be busier than me. I want everybody to make $60,000 a month. I want to do, that's just what it is because if you help people, you don't stay stagnant, you grow. I want my assistants to be as busy as possible. I want them to buy the biggest houses, the best things. I want to give all my clients the best that you can do. That's the thing. If you are talking about somebody, guess what? That's your problem. That ain't theirs. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't affect them. You know, it
Right.
affects us as human beings because we have hearts. But at the end of the day, that's just what it is. Like, I mean, like I said, you know, people can say stuff about who I work for and what I work for. And it doesn't mean anything to me because guess what? It's not my practice.
Sure.
Simple. It's simple. It's the love that I give out. I travel every weekend. I leave my family. I leave my twins. I leave my wife every weekend. Why? To teach and grow and show other people. And when I stop doing it, it becomes miserable. Back off.
Yeah, that's
That's
it.
it.
I love that. And I think we'll kind of talk a little bit now, I think, about a topic that is related to that and the kind of continuous building and growing that Wayne you're doing not only when you're out in the world teaching but also inside of your own business, which you've continued to like scale in this tremendous way. And I know
Absolutely.
something that we talked about a little bit when we were prepping for this webinar was when you're bringing in this revenue, there's a time where you have to start reinvesting it in your business and being strategic about that. So I'm curious if you could share some thoughts on how you reinvest in your business to continue to drive growth and loyalty from your team and then also from your clients too.
I always, number one, pay the people that work for me as whatever I can get away with. So, for example, if they make X amount a day, I pay them more because you always want to take care of the people that take care of you. Number
Yeah.
one. And I say this, and I learned this from my grandmother. I mean, she was doing hair till she was 93. And one of the craziest things was she would go to her clients after they would pass. Okay. So they would go to
Yeah.
them after they would pass. And I was like, how can you do that? She said, well, Wayne, they serviced me and paid me and helped me for 70 years. It's the last thing I can do to take care of them. So it's the last thing at the end of the day that I can do to take care of my assistants, to give them extra money, to give them extra tips, to give them extra things. That's number one, that's the key to keeping good people around you. And number one, that's reinvesting. Number two is always don't be afraid to put your work out there.
Yeah.
That's the key. Always, again. And just remember what I say. Nobody's going to talk about you ever doing better than you. And number three, you have to invest in a good system.
Yeah.
A good, like Nicole said, a great system that turns around and gives you in sync. And you have to keep in sync. Not only if you're by yourself, if you're by yourself in a suite, you still have to be in sync with that client and this and this. And one of the best investments, honestly, I ever made was buying, honestly, gloss. It really, and I promise you, I swear I'm not saying it because I hear, it's just changed my entire business. It changed my business model. It changed how I did things, and that reinvesting. And here's the thing too, buy the best products. Don't cheap out.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, your clients aren't, I worked in a salon in New York for a while and was doing celebrities and whatever. Nobody cares. They used color from Sally's.
Oh, interesting.
And people are paying $400-500 a color. And it was in a bottle from Sally's. And I'm sitting there thinking, you're not giving them the best service. It's just like taking somebody and using something cheap as hell on the back bar.
Right.
And then you never hear, oh my God, my hair's never felt so good.
Right.
You never hear it because you're using whatever that's going to scrub out. Whatever you use on the back bar, use behind the chair, and then you're going to sell products. Yep. That's the key. And I say it all the time, don't cheap out. Just don't cheap out. And I understand if you don't have the money to do that, but you do. Because if you give people the best service and you give them the best color, you give them the best of everything, it changes everything. And I'm not saying go out and buy a $3,000 pair of scissors. If what you're using works, continue to use it. If you love this bleach, continue to use it. But if you feel like something's not right, or you're having to take this down and do this because it's not up to par, or you're using the cheaper side of this, it's never going to work. Shortcuts never made money. Shortcuts never built a house. It always falls.
I love that.
That's the thing. I spend the money, and God, listen to me. Nobody hates spending money on color more than I do. You don't. It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing as somebody buying a cheap booking system. Guess what you're getting? A cheap booking system.
Yeah.
It's very simple. And it's not to say this and this, because I'm going to tell you what, these guys are the most affordable booking system on the market. I was getting, and this is the thing, I promise you, I was getting one for free, because I worked for a company that had a great booking system. But guess what? It wasn't Gloss. So I continued to pay my $25, $30 a month. And guess what? I was happy. And it enabled me to grow my business. And guess what shut down? The booking system. Because guess what? It was a knockoff version of something great. Never use a knockoff version of something great. I mean, unless you're buying clothes from, Shein.
Good advice, Wayne. Well, I think I want to drive home a point, which I think, it speaks a lot of what Wayne was saying, but then also a lot of the sentiment in the room tonight, which I think what we know at GlossGenius is that we can't replace you, right? We can't replace the relationships that you grow with your clients, which are a testament to you, to your team, to the strength of what you're doing. But systems are going to be the thing that kind of helps you scale that and grow that and not
100%.
Into it. So at GlossGenius, that's what we're all about. It's powering those relationships so that they can be valuable to you and so that you can use your time most efficiently.
Well, I mean, that's the key. I mean, again, I couldn't do what I do without the system. That's it. And yes, I'm friends with all the girls. I love all the girls. I go to a hair show and I would rather spend my time at their booth than the booth I'm at. I mean, they know that. I probably worry the hell. I'm like, shit, here comes Wayne. But it's just, I love them because here's the thing. They do care. Number one, they have a pulse on the business. And there's something that I asked them, I don't know, a couple months ago, can we do this with the system? And because today this doesn't work, this is going to work better. And I think they're working on it now. And they're going to, because of a suggestion that's going to make it easier for hairdressers to get in touch with new clients that want to reach you. Yeah. Because it's we're all in this, we're all here. And, we spoke about it, and these girls are open to everything. They literally, all they want to do is build the best to make everything the best. And you have to make it easy. It is the best money I spend every single month. And I think I just can't tell. I can't stress that enough, but you've got to have the system in place and use it. Believe me, I do my best to use it and I don't do everything on it. that it helps with. But I do everything that I can that I know that I have the time, and it makes the biggest difference.
Thank you, Wayne. No, and I think that means a lot to us. And I will say, like, our team is super proud of our product, super hands-on, and always
Should
looking
be.
to grow and change. And so, one quick note, and we're going to spend hopefully just a couple minutes on Q&A. We'll have a tiny bit of time. I don't want to go over too far. But I want to just share, there's a link here for you guys. So if, anything that we chatted about today is resonating, you can scan this QR, or I just dropped a link in the chat. You can feel free to follow the link too. We are standing by and we're happy to provide you with a free demo, completely complimentary, just to show you how the product works. Booking, payments, AI business analyst inside of there, like we mentioned, so much stuff that's going to help you grow, scale those amazing relationships that you have behind the chair and grow your revenue. So that's what we're all about at GlossGenius. If you haven't tried us out yet, now is a really great time to give us that shot. So definitely feel free to book your demo on your own schedule, again, at the QR code or the link.
And 100%. And she's, and it also, it's the only link in my bio is to GlossGenius to go in, not to book classes with me, not to do this, that's just somewhere else. The number one link in my bio is how to get this app and the free demo. And it's only because I love the girls and I believe that it would absolutely help everybody in this chat change how they do business. And that's what we will always do. You're always looking to grow.
That's right. And Terry, your question, we do offer payments inside of there. So you can check out with us, and inventory too. And you can check out products from your inventory, retail products, through GlossGenius. So if that's what you're looking for, we've got it for you. But with that, I'm going to leave this up on the screen so you guys can keep scanning if you want to. We'll spend like 2 minutes on questions. So if anybody has any questions for Wayne that we didn't cover tonight, I welcome them in the chat. Feel free to drop us a couple notes and we'll round this out.
And we'll do our best to answer everything. If you have any other questions, DM me on Instagram. I go through and answer this every night. Whatever you guys need, that's what I'm there for. If you're ever in North Carolina, come by the salon and hang out. You're more than welcome to.
Thank you, Wayne. Oh my gosh. Samantha gave us some really nice feedback. So thank you, Samantha. Thanks
my hours 3 days a week. I work from 9 until about 7:30
nice.
the latest.
Got it. Amazing. And then Tiffany asked about, I know you mentioned this briefly, Wayne, when you have 2 or 3 people in the suite and somebody maybe needs some space for a private conversation, how do you manage that?
So I literally tell them, I have my assistants, or either I just say, can you please wait out front? I'll bring you back in a second.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to spend a little extra time here. And I think that's the key, because some people might want to talk about their family, their relationship, what they're going through. And I don't want everybody in there. I'll move my assistants out. I move them completely out of the suite. I say, you know what, we got to wait there up front. And I'll walk up personally and I'll just tell the client, say, excuse me 1 second, hold on 1 second. Let me go speak to these girls. I walk up, speak to them, and I tell them so I can have a moment alone with you. So I send them out. I send everybody to the front. And I go back and talk to them about what they need to talk about, because I think that's the key. You never want to not have somebody trust you. And then you want to also, they're there for you because, listen to me, they love you as a hairdresser. And I think that's the key. And some people might pout about going out front. Who gives a shit? Go out front. I'll get you in a minute. Because guess what? Next time you might want to talk to me. Just give people breaks, and don't be afraid, because they're not going to go out the front and then leave the salon. They're not. Just go sit and just say, you know what, give me a couple minutes. I need to talk to this woman about a few things. And that's it. That's all they care about. If you're honest, and here's the thing, don't lie. Just be honest. Just say, look, me and her's got a conversation going on. It's kind of private. I'm gonna have you sit out front for a few minutes, and I promise you I'll get you. And I tell people the same thing. If I run behind, I'll get you out on time. That's it. Just because I'm running 5 minutes behind because I talked to somebody a little bit more does not mean that you're not going to get out of here exactly on time. And I think that's another thing too. People think that, oh, you can't get them out on time. No, just because I'm running behind doesn't mean I'm not getting you out on time.
Right.
And I think the key is how you speak to people.
I love that.
And it's respect. It's respect.
No, totally. And there's, I see a question from Janine in the question section, which is about price increases. And she basically just asked, what do you think is the most effective way, and probably like the least conflict way, to notify clients of a price increase?
I tell them when they come in.
Yeah.
I always want to tell them personally. And here's the thing too, and I tell what this has helped out a lot. I always tell people that there's been a price increase on your next appointment. I'm going to give you, let's just use $10 price increase or a $5 price increase, whatever. You're not going to go up $50, whatever. Nobody's going to. But if you turn around and just say, there's going to be a price increase next time, I want you to, and I don't believe in putting a note on the mirror. I don't believe in that stuff because it's a little impersonal. They didn't see it, blah, blah, blah. My assistant would send them a text. They don't see it. They never see it. You got a door code to get to my salon. They don't see the code. So if you tell them next time, say, listen, say colors increase, this is increasing. Say, you know what? I've been doing this for a while and I'm getting very busy. I'm going up. I'm going to go up $5 or $10 on your next one. That's it. And I think that's the easiest way. And again, honesty. It's speak to people and people respect you. They love you. And if somebody says, well, I just can't afford it, and say, well, you know what? I understand. How about if I work with you a couple of times and then I'll give you a couple of times where we're at right now. And then I'm going to go up. And then some people might say, well, I'm not coming back. And if they say that, guess what? They don't care about you.
Yeah.
You think anybody complains to the grocery store attendant when milk went up to $5? $10 again? Nobody cares. If they love you, they're going to come to you no matter what. And again, when I went up, I literally, and I tell you, I went up 50% like that from people that were paying nickels. I went up, I lost 2 clients.
Wow.
And I wanted to get rid of the 2 anyway, because they were disrespectful and they don't respect you, your time, and they don't expect your love.
Right. No, that's such a fair point. I think, and obviously a testament to the loyalty of the relationships you've built that only journey. I mean, that's huge. So
and again, I'm not the best hairdresser in the world. I don't ever claim to be. I don't think I am. I just give good service, and people that I do love me. Not everybody loves me. And if they don't, that's their problem. I don't care, because guess what? I'm happy. At the end of the day, are you happy? And Brett, you asked about a sweet environment. I love the sweet environment. I had salons and this and that. And yes, I do apply color, Suzanne. I do all my cuts, all my colors. My assistants do not apply color. Once in a while, they may, but 95% of the time, I do it because I can do it in 7 minutes where it takes them 15. So that's with that. And that's with training, and that's just going over that. And Brett, yes, I love a sweet environment. I love a sweet environment because of the privacy. And let me tell you something. There's nobody on this earth that wished Sweets would have failed more than I did. I hated it. I had a salon. I had people there. I had friends there. I had everything. I thought it was the dumbest idea ever in this world to put people in a private booth, because it was no love back and forth. It was no so-and-so leaves like, oh my God, your hair looks so good. Oh, go ahead and book with them. Oh, this person's this. You were learning the love that you get. But when you went into a suite, all of a sudden everything went from here to here. Yeah. And then do you know who it's about? You and your client. Game changer. It is a game changer. And I was like, that it costs this much. You're hemorrhaging money. It is the best decision that I ever made, besides cutting bangs on the internet and going from a book to GlossGenius. I can't stress it enough. Yeah. And I love the salon environment. I loved hanging out with everybody.
I love it. Amazing, guys. Well, we're over time at this point, so I know Wayne graciously offered to continue answering questions.
I'd continue for 2 more hours. I could care less. I love it. I could sit here and talk to Nicole and hang out with them all the time. They're probably like, I want to get away from Wayne. I bug them together so much.
Oh man, well, thank you, Wayne. And I just want to quickly, one last time, just a couple quick plugs at the end here as we're rounding out.
Come tight, Suzanne.
Come tight. We love it. Scan this QR or click the link that I'm dropping right now. If you guys are interested, oh, Gabriella just dropped it too. Amazing. We're on top of it. Book your free demo with GlossGenius. If you're not familiar with us, please check it out. I think it will be worth your time and will help you get some of that time back and some additional revenue too. So please give us a shot. We really appreciate you booking a free demo. And again, these are done on your schedule, so you can pick a time that works for you.
And it will change your career. And again, if you follow me and you don't get this link, it's in my bio. It's the only thing in my bio is the link to the free demo.
We love it. And I want a big thank you. I know there's a lot of thank yous in the chat right now to Wayne. I'm giving one too. Thank you so much, Wayne,
Thank
for
you
your
guys.
time. This was awesome.
Oh,
We had the best time as always. So
Nicole,
thanks.
you know, there's no company I love more than you girls.
Thanks.
I can't take it. Like they text me, I get excited. Like a kid at Christmas. It really is. But honestly, it's only because they changed my career, and I'm very thankful for that.
Thank you, Wayne. Well, thanks as always. And I hope everybody has a great afternoon or evening, wherever you're at. Thank you so much for your time, and we will see you on the next one.
Thank
Bye.
you guys. Any questions, any other questions, shoot them in my DMs and I'll answer everybody. But thank y'all so much.